into a Victory Monday, everybody, here on Texans Today. We've got Overreaction Monday after the Texans' absolute beatdown of the New Orleans Aints, 20-13 in Week 6. Hey, the Battle of the Boot, the Battle of the Bayou, you know where it is. It's right here. It's in H-Town. So go down there. Victory Monday. I want everybody loud and proud in the comment section to get us started off. Spam those H's in the comment section for the Texans win yesterday and hopefully an Astros win later on today. I am praying, I'm hoping. Let's go spam those H's down in the comment section. If you're from H-Town, if you love the Houston Texans, if you love the Houston Astros, go down there, put it loud and proud. Let me see them H's. First up on our Overreaction Monday, Blake Cashman. Is he an elite linebacker? I'm saying real talk. Blake Cashman, he is playing like one of the best in the NFL right now. I mean, I'll tell you that after watching yesterday's game, he is an absolute stud. I'm saying Cashman is cash, man. Hey, he had a hell of a game against the New Orleans Saints. Look at these stats right here. 15 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, and 1 quarterback hit. I mean, this man is on a mission. Blake Cashman is definitely one of the best defenders the Texans have at the moment. Maybe one of the best linebackers in the entire NFL. According to PFF, maybe the number 1 linebacker in the NFL. PFF currently has him tied with Roquan Smith as the best linebacker in the entire NFL. Let me say that one more time. The best linebacker in the entire NFL. Here are his grades via PFF for this season. An overall grade of 91.1, run defense grade of 74.5, a pass rush grade of 78.0. And I told you he's the best coverage linebacker on the team, but look at this. A 91.2 in coverage via PFF. I mean, these are elite stats right here. These are elite stats for an NFL player. So I have to ask you this question first. Is Blake Cashman a top 5 linebacker in the NFL? Yes or no? Give me your answer down in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get a YouTube ad break, perfect timing. I really want to hear from you folks at home. Everybody is on the Blake Cashman hype train, but is he top 5 in the entire NFL? Let me know down in the comment section. He's playing well, but top 5, I don't think he's there yet. Blake Cashman, he is playing so good for the Texans. Obviously, started off the year injured, came in, and has just been a dynamite ever since. But top 5 in the NFL right now, I think he's on the cusp. I don't know if he's there yet. Via PFF, he's tied for number 1 with Roquan Smith. These are the top 4 linebackers per PFF. It's Roquan Smith and Blake Cashman tied at number 1. Then you got Demario Davis and then Bobby Wagner. I mean, what a host of names to be around if you're Blake Cashman. He is going to cash in. And yes, pun definitely intended in that. But the reason I say slow your roll, the reason I'm like, pump the brakes just a little bit, especially with this, especially with PFF, is you got to take everything that PFF puts out with a grain of salt because their batting percentage, definitely not 1,000. I mean, prime example right here, Fred Warner. We all agree, Fred Warner, probably the best linebacker in the NFL. If you are going to get a linebacker for your team, Fred Warner is either the first or second name that you're saying. They don't have him in the top 10 for PFF. So I say pump the brakes. I say, Fred Warner, if he's not top 10, if they have Blake Cashman at number 1 and Fred Warner, if he's not top 10, those statistics, I would maybe pump the brakes, maybe be like, okay, Blake Cashman, he's playing very well. I want to see it for the rest of the season. He has a chance to be top 5, but right now, I don't know if he's just there quite yet. Next up, Devin Singletary should be RB1. And actually, Tex, before we go into this, I want to give a little suspense. I'll let you know my thoughts on Devin Singletary right after I tell you about today's sponsor. It's game time, baby. Hey, do you want your life to be like a movie? Do you want every weekend your time to be spent with loved ones, having the time of your life? Well, Game Time, they are trying to help you with that. This month alone, Game Time has helped me go see a North Texas football game, my alma mater. And earlier this year, I got floor seats for Adele and Drake. I would not have been able to see 2 of my favorite artists of all time if it wasn't for Game Time. Game Time has deals right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats, find exclusive flash deals, and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. And Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section in a row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code NFLChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code NFLCHAT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you to Game Time for sponsoring today's show. And for my next overreaction, Devin Singletary should be RB1. He should be. Everybody's getting Game Time tickets to go see. Overreaction. A little bit of an overreaction. Don't get me wrong. Devin Singletary looked fantastic against the Saints yesterday. Dameon Pierce didn't look too bad himself. But, I mean, if you look at their stats throughout the season, through 6 games, I mean, yes, Singletary has looked better in less carries, but Dameon Pierce, I mean, still decent receiving yards. I know the average 2.9 yards per carry, Dameon Pierce. I know how this looks. I know you're like, oh, Jeremy, as I'm looking at this graphic right now, 100% Devin Singletary should start, 100%. But let me tell you this right now. I don't blame Pierce for a bad start. This Texans offensive line has been tattered and bruised throughout the whole beginning of the season. I don't necessarily blame Dameon Pierce for this bad start. And I think yesterday showed, I don't think RB1 goes to Pierce or Singletary. I think you use them in a 2 running back system where you see him going in and out. I loved how Bobby Slowik, DeMeco Ryans, and this Texans coaching staff used the running backs yesterday. You even saw some Mike Boone. And I think having that healthy rotation of guys, maybe you don't have Dameon Pierce as the workhorse back, but having different guys who can do different things go in there for you, I think that's the way to go for the Texans. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Singletary, Pierce got about the same amount of carries yesterday. Both played very well. So I want to see a heavy rotation of running backs between Pierce, Singletary, and even some Mike Boone in there. I like what I saw out of Mike Boone. Those 3 guys, I think if you can rotate them in, it'll be a healthy dose of each guy. Dameon Pierce, he's a bruiser. He's the guy who's going to get you extra yards. He's the guy who's going to get you the dirty yards. Okay? Singletary, maybe more of a scat back, and Boone, more of like a gadget type player. But all 3 of these guys bring something to the table. So I think you got to keep on having that heavy rotation. And before we get to my last overreaction on a Victory Monday, make sure to subscribe so you always get the latest Texans news and rumors all year long, folks. And make sure you turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. We're dropping Texans news and rumors all year long, so don't miss a moment of it. Go down, hit that sub button, and hit that notification bell. Lastly, Overreaction Monday. Nico Collins needs more targets. He doesn't want them, folks. He needs them. And that's some real talk. That's some real talk right there. Nico Collins, I think he needs more targets. I was kind of digging through NFL stats, digging through, stats for Nico Collins this morning. Currently on the Texans. Hey, yeah, you see the title right there. Let Nico eat. Currently 2nd in targets, but 1st in receptions, yards, and touchdowns for the Texans. So he's 2nd in targets, but leads in all other statistical categories. I mean, Nico Collins is having himself quite the year so far. He looks amazing. That connection with C.J. Stroud, you already see it developing. 29 receptions, 547 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 drop on the year for Nico Collins. Only 1. I really love what I'm seeing out of Nico. Everybody said he was going to be the X factor. Everybody said he was going to be the breakout wide receiver for the Texans this year. And it seems like it's coming to fruition so far. So I ask you this, an open-ended question, because I want some discourse. I want to hear what you have to say. I really do care. I look through all the comments. I look and see what you have to say about your Houston Texans. So get down in there and let me know. Is Nico Collins a legit wide receiver 1? It could be a simple yes. It could be a simple no. You can give me your reasoning behind whether you think yes or no. Do you think he's a wide receiver 1A and needs a running mate? What do you think about Nico Collins being the top target for the Houston Texans? Is he a legit wide receiver one in the NFL? I'll be looking down in the comments, I promise you. I want to see some discourse. I want to see what you have to say. I care about what my viewers have to say, so get down in there and let me know your thoughts. I think he can be a top target. I think he could be a wide receiver one. Now, do you maybe need to have another electric wide receiver to go along with him? I think Tank Dell might be able to kind of fit that role, but it wouldn't hurt to get another field stretcher, another great target for the Houston Texans. Maybe a T. Higgins this offseason? I don't know. But with Nico being wide receiver one, I feel comfortable. I'm not saying the Texans have the best wide receiver core in the NFL with Nico, but it's respectable. I think Nico, he's a great target for a young C.J. Stroud. And I think, as you look at this Texans depth chart, he is undoubtedly the best receiver you have on the team. Robert Woods, surprisingly, been very good this year. I think Robert Woods has looked good as another target for C.J. Stroud. An older wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver, Noah Brown. We saw him in limited action yesterday, but Tank Dell coming off injury, John Mechie still trying to work him into the game plan, and Xavier Hutchinson. I like what the Texans have in terms of young wide receivers. I could see them moving forward with Nico, Dell, Mechie, and Hutchinson next year, and then maybe trying to pick up one more dynamic wide receiver via either the draft or free agency. But Nico Collins, let that man eat. I'm telling you that right now. Thank you for watching today's video. I appreciate every single person who clicked on today's video and especially who made it to the end of today's video. Y'all are real ones. If you want more Texans content on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, follow me at Jeremy Chuggs. And don't forget, I'm telling you right now, don't forget, go down and hit that sub button for daily Texans videos. And before I leave, I got to say one more thing. Let's go, Astros! Come on, baby! Take it home! Let's go, Astros! I believe in you right now. Let's go, Astros! Let's go, Astros! Have yourself a day, Texans fans. Let's go.